What up, guys? It's your girl, Rara Butterfly, here to do this nightly message. Whenever you catch a video, daily, nightly, however, whenever you receive it, okay? If it does resonate for you guys, you know what to do. Hit that like, comment, subscribe button. If you want a personal, use the description box down below. And we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. Hold on one second, you guys. Okay. We're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. Before I get into the actual message, I was getting the energy for you guys where it was kind of two different things, okay? First and foremost, before I get into the indigo and the starseed, right? I was picking up this energy versus God, almost versus Jesus, right? And not in a way of wrath or a way of, competition, but in a way of understanding. And let me catch my breath, y'all. Cause I was trying to hurry up and get up on here. I know y'all been waiting for me, but let me catch my breath for a second. Awusa. Anywho, what I was getting for you guys is that more so of the energy of like, a lot of people, we praise Jesus. We feel afraid to speak the name of God. But if you're afraid to speak his name, that's because you don't really probably have any connection with him. You may be more into religion, or you may be more into, spirituality or Jesus or the Bible than you are actually into the relationship with God. And a lot of us like to think that, okay, especially with Easter being here, right? A lot of people like to think that, okay, well, Jesus died for our sins and for the sinners. And of course he did. But the main reason why Jesus also died is because God wanted us to know, if this is my only son, if this is my beloved child, and I sacrificed him, I crucified him, what do you guys think that I could do to you? Does that make sense? So in the meaning of my message and what he was telling me is that God can love us, God can be there for us, God can have understanding to our situations, to our environment, but at the same time, God could also have wrath. He could also see the wicked ways. A lot of people would like to think that, oh, they could lie, and get away with doing certain things. They can lie to the world. They can hide from karma if they got enough power, if they have enough money. But one thing they cannot trick or lie or deceive is God. And he also was telling me that it's going to be a lot of, I don't know what this is about, this science or Scientology, or, just a lot of people that's going to try to run to science. They're going to run to mankind. They're trying to have control over what God's creation actually is. So that's why God has really been saying that you need to be aware of what you're putting into your body, what you're putting into your ears, what you're putting into your mind. You have to be it's a lot of that whole being woke. You get what I'm saying? Of course, that's a trend and that's what everybody be on, but God is saying, like, yeah, you really need to wake up. You need to reclaim your soul. You need to start seeing things for what it is. You need to start believing in some things that seem crazy, that seem beyond measure, because this is really what is going on in mankind, because there is a huge awakening going on. So you can either be up for the awakening or you could be asleep. You get what I'm saying? So what God was really saying is that a lot of people are caught up in Jesus, but they don't even understand my message. Those who are listening to me, though your road may have been uneasy, though you may have been in battle, though you may think that something bad is going to happen to you, you need to understand, as long as you can hear God's voice clearly, I ain't talking about spirit and ancestors. I ain't talking about that fakeness when we talking about, oh, I'm talking to God. God told me this, God told me that. Because God said that if you have not been humbled through all that has happened, not just in your life, but all the stuff that has happened in the world, if that don't humble your soul, If that don't highlight you, God is never going to tell you to hate. God is never going to tell you to kill. God is never going to tell you to envy. God is never going to tell you to use strife or strike. God is not going to lead you into certain death traps. Does that make sense? God does not tell you to go dig holes unless you work at the gravesite. So that's where the message comes in between Jesus and God, because God does and moves a lot differently. If it's from God, God will have you know, you on some lost and found. I just so happen I gotta dig this hole to get myself out of somewhere. God will have you in a position where people got something behind your back telling you you better dig the hole. If not, and whole time God come save you. But Jesus, a spirit, Jesus, and I won't even say it's Jesus because it's not Jesus, but Jesus opened the door for spirit, for us. Yeah, he did die for our sins, but also remember why God crucified him. And that's the lacking of knowledge that a lot of people don't have, that part of the Bible that is missing when Jesus was really being a misfit, was being a rebel. Okay, in order to be a trailblazer, in order to be a leader, in order to be whatever, you gotta rebel. Especially if you're doing something that's here to change. You get what I'm saying? Something to change the world, especially if you leaving footprints here. You have to be different from the crowd. So, and before I go anywhere else, I would like to say this. I'm not going to talk about the indigo and the starseed quite yet, but we're going to get there, so stay with me. But that's the whole message right there, because a lot of starseed, they feel like they don't fit in to the world, okay? Versus indigo children, they blend into the world, but they're nothing like it. So we're going to get into that message as well, but let me finish up with the message that I was giving you that God told me to begin with. And that's basically what I was telling you, is that the spirit, that's what God left Jesus with, the his spirit of him dying for everyone, because it left the realm for us to still be able to have the energy to come back in. You get what I'm saying? It left the energy as well that people can believe in prophets and prodigy. But the main thing was that so people can believe in God. But what they didn't tell you in the Bible, and I want to really touch bases on this because God told me to make sure I speak on this, is that Jesus was a rebel. Okay? And at one point, Jesus definitely was feeling himself. Jesus loved to indulge in wine, and back then he probably used to smoke something. I don't know what it was. It might not have been like weed, like what we smoke now, but it was something kind of like it. Okay, and he was a baby kid. You don't really think that, but you gotta know. Okay, because when you chosen, you always had that attention on you. Then you know at a young age you got gifts and talents. Okay, let me show out. It's just like when it's like being LeBron James. It's like being Deion Sanders. You know, but a lot of people don't want to look at Jesus as if he wasn't just a regular person, but he was. He was imperfect just like us. It took him time to understand his gift, even though he knew he had it. It took him time to understand why he was doing it, even though he was talented. You get what I'm saying? Michael Jordan, thank you, somebody else, okay? Because a lot of times greatness, they know that they're great, but they don't see how great that they are. And sometimes greatness takes two different paths. You got the greatness that work day in and day out. Then you got the other greatness that be like, well, I don't really know, but shit, I'm great. What's up? And see, that's why a lot of people didn't like Jesus in the time that he really came up in, because they like, how you come in? Who are you? Like, first of all, you speaking this forbidden knowledge. Second of all, you got people that's coming around you, praising you. You're not a king. You're not a queen. You're speaking things that it can be true. It may not be true. I don't know. You making noise. That's why when Jesus was walking around, he had his disciples. And when you really think about it, Jesus' disciples was all, you know, they was criminal thugs and gangsters. But he seen something in them. And there was a reason why. Maybe because Jesus was kind of viewed that way too. It's kind of giving me that notion right now what God is telling me, just so you guys, we can stay on the physical realm as well. What is this movie called? And it had what's the dude name? He used to play I think Stanley. He played on Transformers. What is this movie? Can somebody please drop the name? Not Hoes, but that's the person I'm talking about. This another movie, and he played with the dude. Ooh, I love this dude. What movie did he play on? Lawless. The name of the movie is called Lawless. God just gave it to me, okay? And it was set back in the time during prohibitionary, right? And it was three brothers who basically they was still running alcohol. You know, they was paying the law, but they had a new sheriff in town, and the new sheriff wasn't playing these games at all. Okay, and he was beating them. He was, you know, trying to just really break them, get them to buy into whatever it is that he wanted them to do. Okay, but in the end, they still won. They still stood, even though there was losses, even though there was battle, right? But I don't know why I was picking that energy up. But let's get back into it. Let me close this out. Let's get into the cards so I can give y'all the fresh game and the narrative of everything that I was picking up for this energy and this read. But Virgo, I said Virgo. This message really can be intended for anybody, any sign. But Virgo, y'all know what time it is. But back into what I was saying. Jesus, you know, I wouldn't say that he was corrupt, but it took him time to kind of, you know, measure out. Okay? And so I'm not taking anything away from Jesus, but I feel like the meaning of Jesus definitely needs to be understood. And also that Jesus was sent here as a prophet, you know, of course, prodigy of God, but the prodigy didn't stop with him, it didn't end with him. Okay? And there was prophets that existed before Jesus. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. So it just didn't start there. Okay, there's so much more to all of the story, and that's why I always tell you history is his story, God's story, and you have to tune in to every aspect of it. Okay, now that we have cleared that up, it brings me to the other side of God when we talk about Jesus being, you know, allowing the spirit realm, allowing spirit. Okay, because that was a fight already going on before Jesus ever was here in this world. Okay, so when we talk about spirituality, which if God has allowed it, then it has come from him. Period. Right? So when it comes to spirituality, that spirit realm, when we again talk about Jesus, now we have that indigo and that starseed energy that I want to talk to you guys about, okay? Because I know a lot of people, especially when it comes to tarot or it comes to astrology, the occult, a lot of people have started to reference to this and open this door up for being the chosen, being an indigo, being a starseed. And there's no shade. I ain't targeting nobody, talking about nobody. This is just the message that I was given to give, okay? So some people think that indigo children and starseed children are one and the same, okay? If you don't know what an indigo or starseed, go look it up, okay? You can go find out what you are, who you are. I feel like a lot of you guys, you need to start doing more research. When you find out or you get curious when you hear certain things, you need to do more research and find about yourself, okay? About your zodiac, about your aspects, about history, about God, about whatever it may be. You get what I'm saying? Who is this on my page? Because yeah, you walking bad, looking bad, sounding bad. Find you something better to do. Bye bye. But have a blessed day. We praying for you, my love. Okay, you just need to start That threw me off right there. What was I saying? Let me think. Doing more research within and on yourself, okay? Don't just run with the wind on what anybody telling you. You know, dive deep into who you are. Get to know more about your ancestors. Start asking God certain questions. And that's another thing God was telling me to tell you guys, because I don't know, maybe if you're watching a movie or, you know, something, or reading something or hearing something that just kind of entices that thought in your mind, like, oh, if I had 3 wishes, or if I could do anything, or what do I want? I feel like if that's not something that's kind of, you know, creeping into your mind, or maybe it will after this, right? But I feel like, you know, you may not really just see it clearly at first, or you may think that you know what you want, but then if you like, okay, what if I really get it? You might be like, well, hold on, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. So I feel like what some of you guys really are aligning to, or maybe what you need to align to, or decided to align to, is maybe just wishing to be the person that God destined you to be. Okay, give you the ability to, and the agility to be who God wants you to be. Give you the discipline, the mindset, the self motivation, the knowledge, the friends, whatever it is that you need, the right people that you need to meet in order for you to obtain these things that you want. Okay, if that's how you feel, okay, if that's what you're thinking, if you're thinking about what you're lacking or what you need. But for others of you guys, I feel heavy on this very much energy where somebody is just praying, God, uh, show me how to be who you want me to be. Show me who you created me to be. Give me that ability of who you created me to be. So when you start thinking that way, you start getting curious about your DNA, your ancestor, your history. You start getting curious about the research on God, on your roots, on what really has been going on. You start asking certain questions, but you don't fall on the deep end. You stay disciplined. You take enough and soak up as much as you need to know. But when you know when to move on, or when God starts striking your energy, you move with that. That's for somebody here. I really am picking up that energy for you, right? I'm not telling you what to do. This is the energy that is current right now to what somebody is already doing. That way, that eliminates any confusion that anybody has right now here that's talking cuckoo or crazy or out of place or out of pocket on the page, okay? So let's just keep it rocking. But what I was also getting for you guys, when it comes to the star seed and the indigo, some people may say that there's no, you know, really difference, is one and the same. That's old school, that's new school. Okay, but truthfully, there is a difference between the indigo child and the star seed child. Okay. And just to clarify all of that, I was already getting this message, but I wanted to make sure that I could bag it up for you guys with the actual word, the actual proof behind it. Okay. It says indigo children and starseed children are both believed to possess unique qualities and abilities that set them apart from others. Well, while there may be some overlap in their characteristics, there are also some distinct differences between the two. Indigo children. Aura color indigo children are associated with a deep blue or indigo aura color. A strong sense of self. They have a strong sense of self and individuality. Indigo children often display a natural inclination towards spirituality and have a deep connection to the spiritual realm. They tend to rebel against traditional systems and authority figures, questioning society norms and seeking to bring about change. Indigo children possess a deep wisdom and intuition that goes beyond their years. They are highly empathic and sensitive to emotions and energies of others. Indigo children have a strong desire for justice and are often driven to fight for what they believe is right. Some indigo children may exhibit psychic abilities such as telepathy or clairvoyance. Okay. So when it comes to the starseed children here, it says incarnation purposes. Starseed children are believed to have incarnated on Earth with a specific mission or purpose. They possess unique abilities and talents that go beyond what is considered normal for their age group. Starseed children often have a strong connection to other realms, such as how you say that? Extraterrestrial or spiritual dimensions. They emit a high vibrational frequency that can positively impact those around them and the world. Starseed children have a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things, the cosmic nature of existence. Okay? They may display wisdom and knowledge that surpasses their age and life experiences. Starseed children often feel like they don't belong on Earth and may struggle to fit in with others. Some starseed children may have memories or strong sense of having a past life. It is important to note that these characteristics are based on beliefs and theories, and not everyone may subscribe or experience them in the same way. Each individual is unique and their experiences may vary, okay? So a lot of people get so caught up in the name and the voice, but what needs to be understood, and once you start understanding your gift and who you are, you won't even really probably consider all of these things. The only thing and the only mission is that one thing is understood, that God is real and that you are chosen, and that our mission and our battle is all one and the same. Though the gift may be different, though we may stem from different sides, when it comes to saving the universe, when it comes to doing what's right, we have to come together, period. Okay? So it's either one way or the other. You can be, dark light, white light, but you still have that good inside of you. Or you could be a villain versus superhero. And if you're a villain, you want to see the world end. You want to have control. You want to have power. You saying F God, F his creation. We run this. So a lot of people have to pick a side and stay on the side. And once you pick that side, you have to do what comes with it. Your job is not going to be somebody else's job. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of you guys are recognizing that and taking recognition and accountability in what your purpose is. And once you start doing that, you move different. When you start moving different, people either get irritated or people start getting frustrated. When you move different, people try to either catch up with you, or people realize that they ain't got nothing to do with you. What I got going is what I got going. You get what I'm saying? But it always shows who's supposed to be around and who's not. And you got to move that way. You got to think that way. You got to receive that way. You got to give that way. If somebody give you a gift, accept the gift. If they give you a compliment, accept the compliment. That don't mean that you got to give one back. But that also doesn't mean that you can't give whenever you want to. You don't have to give in order to receive. And you don't have to receive in order to give. When the timing is right, when it's true from your heart, move how you move. Okay? Because you got a lot of people running around here. Oh, I'm blessing this person. I'm doing this for that person. I put on that person. And they only doing it so somebody can see it. So it can be recognized. So they can be rewarded from it. But when you give from your heart, it's oftentimes a secret thing. It's oftentimes, it may not even be received the way that you're trying to give it. Sometimes you feel like a fool for giving certain gifts. You feel like a fool for putting yourself out there. You feel like a fool for doing certain things. But when God is telling you to move, just go ahead and move accordingly. It's going to make sense at the end, okay? So it brings me to my next point of where everything ties in when with the title of this video, okay? And it also leads me to let you guys know that people are about to be in awe, okay? When I say in awe, they're going to be in awe, utter shock here about how not only God stood by your side, how God has been using you this entire time, but how God is still about to bless you in the midst of all of this. I was about to say construction, but construction too for some of you guys, because it's a new build up on that DNA. But in the midst of all of this destruction, in the midst of all of this chaos, God is going to bless you in front of everybody, not just the enemies, because a lot of people getting caught caught up on being blessed in front of their enemies. But God said, I'm about to bless you in front of you. I'm about to bless you in a time where you didn't even really feel deserving, when you don't even understand why you being blessed. But it's the work. It's what you have done. People can sometimes beat people up so bad when they know they have something in them. When they know that they going through something, people can get so high and mighty. People can get so prideful that they lose that sense of compassion. They lose that sense of empathy. They lose that sense of, you know what? I was a human. I was a teenager. I was a kid. I was a mess up. I did A, B, and C too. And that's a reason why that part was eliminated out of the Bible. Because guess what? If people knew that about Jesus, nobody would have followed in order. Nobody would fall in line. And a lot of people like, well, why you not using the Bible to reference to what you saying about Jesus, like you said with the starseed and the indigo? Oh, because clearly this is not in the Bible. You ain't got to believe me. I'm not making you. Nobody's forcing you, but this is what it is that I'm telling you. Receive it or leave it. If it don't apply, let it fly. It's real simple. So at the end of the day here, I just feel like there's a really deep message here for those that can open their ears and receive it and take it in. And we will get to the cards. But it also leads me back to what I was saying with the title, that people gonna be in awe, people gonna be in shock here, how God is still using you. Despite your flaws, despite your ways, despite your actions, despite your past, despite what people claim, despite what people praise, despite what people think, despite what people say that they know about you or what's gonna happen to you. Because a lot of people just been asking and praying for your downfall. God don't answer prayers like that. He don't entertain that. He sees all. So people can, again, lie to the world, but they can't lie about what's in their head. God know that. He sees that. They can hide from karma, but they can't hide from God. It just is what it is. So at the end of the day here, this is all about, like I said, people about to be in shock. Leads us to the next point, that a lot of people here, they talking about spirit told me this, and the ancestors and the cards and the this and that, and it ain't no downplay to the cards. I respect the cards. I love the cards. But some people look at this as a hustle. Okay, other people look at this as something really like understanding the balance between God and spirituality, the tools that he uses when the times changes and the crowds changes, the things that he really has been restoring that has been demolished from people trying to have control. But a lot of people not open enough to receive it, but because they caught up in what they have been taught. But see, when you start rewiring and the more you get closer to God, the more you'll have understanding for everything that he has placed in this world, period. I'm also hearing something about farming and agriculture, but we'll get to that point when I get to the cards. But let's just keep it rocking. So somebody here is saying that spirit told them, oh, dig a grave. Yeah, that person. But God warned this person. God told me he warned them 3 times. 3 times to remain silent, to switch it up, to do different. And this is not something that somebody is doing privately. This is something that somebody is doing publicly. This is like, public slander. This is like slander. This is like humiliation tactics. This is like, abuse. This is like, putting it in people's face, letting it be known. Like, this is like, showing out. Not privately, showing out, real public. So I feel like for those of you guys that feel intimidated because you like, man, everything keep going bad. Is it going to go bad again? When you hear certain things, it may kind of trigger you and you start worrying. You got to learn to pray that shit, excuse my language, pray that off, that crap off. Pray that off, because God is reminding me constantly to tell you that you're not going to be in touch. You're not being touched. You're no longer involved. You are protected in many ways. Various ways. He ain't got to show you sign after sign. You've already got the signs. He's already given you the confirmation, because why? You have a house, you have a home, you got food, you got shelter, you got air, you got something. You still here. You still can do it. It ain't over for you yet. There's still a way. As long as you have a will, God is going to continue making that way. And this message is not just about God. It's deeper than all of that, because all of this connects to one. So if talking about God ruffles your feathers, then this ain't the channel for you. You need to go over to wherever. But for others of you guys, you understand the balance here. Okay? This ain't no fake. This ain't no gimmick. This ain't no pretend. It's a balance here. So at the end of the day, whoever this is that's claiming Spirit told them to do this and do that, and oh yeah, they're praising somebody's downfall. They're basically thinking that they're digging a grave. This really has a lot to do with people that do black magic and people that do manipulation, okay, that influence people down a dark path that benefits them. No shade to nobody, but those who know who they are, they know who they are. People know what reasons are behind and what motives they truly have, no matter what they get up and preach and say to the crowd, okay? It's not about just, skeletons in the closets. It's about who lying, what you're putting on, what you're putting out. God knows the intention of all of our hearts, period. Point blank, period. So at the end of the day, I feel like somebody was proudly digging the grave for somebody. Can't wait to see. Tick tock, you out of here. You get what I'm saying? And they had been warned 3 times. And God let you could be even feeling, I feel like somebody is like, damn, why I say that? Why I do that? How I misplaced that? Why did I park in that space? I told myself don't park here last time. Why did I go to over here when I told myself I wasn't going to show up last time? Why did I do A, B, and C? But you feel like, damn, I played myself. But God said, no, they played themselves. Excuse my language. I'm still trying, y'all. Okay? But they played themselves. God said, they thought that they got that hole ready for you, but they got that hole and dug it for themselves. They really dug their own grave in this situation. Their own grave. Jumping right in. Prepared that grave. So I just feel like somebody has been warned so many times. Somebody could have on red or orange shoes or nails or hair or dress, outfit. That color red and orange is going to be very significant versus the purple and blue. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people need so much to believe in something, but God said, man, my word is short, my word is simple, and my word is quick. I don't give it to you the way that you want it. I don't come in the time that you think you need. I come in my perfect timing. I arrive when it's necessary. And when I tell you how God is going to arrive in your life, show up and restore, especially for those of you guys that have been losing things. I don't care if it's as simple as you keep losing your car keys. You feel like you losing your mind. You feel like you losing your health. You feel like you losing your job. You whatever. Your home, your car, your pets, your children, your mother. Whatever this is, your stability. Even if you have lost that, keep in mind in these next few weeks, okay? Mark the word. Mark the word, okay? Keep in mind in these next few weeks and watch who loses it all. Because I feel like you losing a little bit of things. You might lose something, but somebody gonna lose everything in one night. Somebody could be playing with the ethers, playing with your creativity, playing with your destiny, and you know it's like piece by piece you've been losing stuff. But just like that song says, piece by piece you restored my faith for me to believe that a man could whatever and a father won't leave. See, the message be going over people's mind, but it'll hit them right when it's time. It'll make sense then. It'll make sense. It'll make sense when it's supposed to. Some of you guys, you could have said something 2 years ago. You could have claimed a life or knew who you were or what you wanted 20 years ago. $20 years ago. And you just seeing it materialize today. But do you not know the longer that you have waited, the bigger this energy gonna be, the more God about to show out, the more people gonna be in awe, especially for those 20 years ago. And you got people that's running around thinking they stole something. You got people that's running around thinking they did something. You got people that's running around thinking they took something. You got people that's running around waiting for you to fall, waiting for you to trip, waiting for you to be gone so they can sit on your throne. And God said, yeah, I got bigger plans than that. I said otherwise. I'm doing better than that. Matter of fact, they going to be doing better than that. You was thinking that throne, I'm thinking over here. You was thinking that little castle in the 7 kingdoms, I'm thinking king or queen. So God said he moving these chessboards and these pieces more than a lot of people think in their hand. They think they using their hand to go against you and they think they almost about to win. God said, but I'm the board. I'm the pieces. I'm the mind. I'm the hand. Watch how I jump in. Watch how I get into your body. Watch how I start moving. Watch how I start creating. When you start leaning on God, when you start creating and calling on God, when you start putting him first, watch how he show up and deliver. Bet that can't touch you then. Bet that magic don't do no work then. Bet they start shaking in their boots then. Bet they want to jump in that grave on their own then. Bet they start thinking about their sin then. Bet they start condemning their own self and asking for repentance and forgiveness then. I bet you they leave you alone when God jump in it. That's why he said you got to be open so I can get inside of you. Because spirituality will have your mind open. And that's the devil's playground. But God said, I'll have your spirit open, your soul open, your heart open, your mind open, your eyes open, your nose open, your mouth open, your throat open, your feet open, your bones open. I have every vessel in your body open. They won't even know what's going on when you go to the doctor type of open. And that's the reason this stuff can't touch you. That's the reason why a lot of these folks have been really talking about, oh, STD, STD, STD. But that's why when I put that pressure on them a couple of days ago and said, well, who can show their health records? Who goes to the doctors? Spirituality will have you talking about some things that God really telling you to preach. Listen to what you preach. Go to the doctor. Move. So now spirit can't trick you. Now man can't trick you. Now there's proof behind what you're saying. You'll know if you what class and what realm you in when you start really living in that truth. When you start really walking with him and letting him use you, he gonna lead you to go to that doctor. He gonna lead you to act the fool at the doctor when you telling them, oh no, I got a lump in my breast. Oh no, I don't feel right. I can't get no rest. Oh no, something going on. My blood pressure, my mind, my this, my mother, my father. It don't matter if it ain't about you. It could be your kids or your mother or somebody that you're close to. But what I say is that they knew they couldn't pump that BS up inside of you. They knew they couldn't try with you because a lot of these folks that just been ignoring the signs, that crap been festering in. For others of them that's been going to the doctors, they like, let's hurry up and sneak something in because this one don't give us a rest. She's going to figure it out. Yeah. Yeah. See, God said, when I'm using you, I move you differently. When I'm using you, it don't matter if you don't fit in or if you blend in. All I know is that you're going to stand out. Y'all ain't hitting the like buttons, but it's a lot of realness being said on this page. And it's a lot of watchers. It's some commentators. Thanks for running it up. Because the longer you stay, whether you spreading hate or love, it's a nickel or a dime or a dollar for me. So it's received. Thank you. And God bless you. Wholeheartedly mean that. To the enemies and the haters too. May you receive a big blessing in your life that brings you joy, that brings you happiness, that brings you peace at night, and brings you the ability to leave people alone because you have something good on your own. Amen. I say, okay, let's agree and stand firm on that. Yes, okay. So back into that little grave somebody was trying to dig that they actually dug for themselves. They should have took heed while they was trying to warn everybody else. I hope they call reference to the message. I hope they practicing what they preaching. I hope they standing on that business. I hope they receiving that delivery, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to stand in this next little swipe and wipe. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get into it. I don't really have much. Really, a lot of cards for you guys. That I almost didn't get that out. Shoot. Somebody name could be Danny or Denier. I'm also hearing like Michael or Garrett. Okay, I'm also hearing Solomon. Okay, Paul. Okay, Mount Moriah could also be significant. Okay, somebody also could be Jewish. I'm also picking up Hindu. Okay. Somebody could like the scent of Frankenstein, or somebody could like a certain scent here. I'm also getting something about like mothballs. Somebody could be visiting their grandparents' house. Somebody's grandparents could have like, very old sheets, or like their sheets feel very stale, or, very stiff. Okay. Or somebody's grandparents can have sheets and like just a quilt on the bed. You still feel cold. Okay. So a lot of like childhood memories or nostalgia could be coming up for some of you guys. Okay. But I feel like, some type of nerve could also be struck here. I'm also getting that somebody could be telling some type of lie here. Okay. Maybe they're telling you, oh, I'm out of town with my family or whatever. I feel like they could be, or maybe they're telling you that I don't know, maybe they don't celebrate their birthday, or they don't celebrate certain holidays, or they don't do something. I feel like somebody is trying to, I'm hearing either perpetrate or that's really not the word that I'm hearing. I'm hearing first of all, let me see if that's even, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Something just made me all of a sudden out of nowhere. Made my eye water, and it just made me like want to choke up. So whatever I just said really just struck a nerve. Okay? Because I feel like somebody keep on consistently playing here. Somebody keep on doing something, even if it makes somebody cry, even if it makes somebody sad, even if somebody know that they don't want to go through with something. I feel like they have been warned, don't do it, don't do it. And I feel like it's going to get somebody really caught up, and it's really sad. Okay, but I feel like this choke up is not happening because of the sadness that you're gonna see. You know, the sadness you see is the betrayal that, damn, you was gonna go through with something like that, you was gonna do something like that, or you had that thought, that intention. You get what I'm saying? Even if something was to move forward, physically, spiritually, when you see it, it's even more clear because you see the picture so clear. That's even worse for them, the guilt and the grief, right? But on the flip side of it, I feel like this is on a spiritual realm here. And it's like somebody here, that choke up was from them, because they keep on being like, damn, how the fuck are you knowing? Like, it really scares them on how much information do you know. I did that reading a couple of days ago for Virgo, and I feel like that implies right here in this moment, because somebody is really on some, how do you know all of this? Like, how much do you know? Or they're feeling bad about the contract that they have signed, or they're feeling bad about what they have listened to, the gossip, the rumors, or what they have accepted, what they have thought that they could get away with. It's almost as if you're really showing somebody that God is real. That's really the most defined message that I'm picking up here, that you are showing God is real. And it's about to be so unorthodox. It's going to come in and almost like a wave, a tsunami. It's almost coming in like on some, you know, Marvel, X-Men, superpowers, unnatural type of energy. It's very colossal. It's very like, it's going to take over the world, or it's going to touch a lot of people in the world. This is going to be very groundbreaking. This is going to be a very heavy message. This is going to leave timestamps. This is going to be here for the rest of the days. Whether you're here or you're not here, whatever you're doing or whatever you're touching, whatever you're creating, whoever you were created to be, when I tell you that it is legendary, it is shocking, it's going to jar the world, that you're going to jar the world literally in your hands. You're going to see things from a way of the way that God sees it, and how open you are, it's going to pour out. Like, it's just kind of like, it gives me that movie Phoenix Rising, but in such a different way, like in a very much so God spiritual, like this stuff actually exists type of way, right? Because a lot of people don't believe in this energy, but it's so real. It's so true. That's why when people start actually doing the research, they go down rabbit holes and they get caught up in it. And they start wanting to know more and more, and they start believing certain things, and certain doors start opening, and you start meeting certain people, and certain people start getting closed off and cut out. But certain people have the ability, and they start understanding how they have to keep it a secret. But it's really going to all be out for everybody to grab. So it's important for you to know how to grab yourself and see who you are. Because when all these spirits start returning and everybody's soul is out, you don't want to grab the wrong person. You don't want the right people and the wrong people that's knowing that this energy is about to take place, and that souls are up for grab, and they out here to grab yours. And because you too busy not knowing that this is what's going on, they come get your soul. No, because your soul couldn't be bought. Therefore, it's one of the ones that's in that dream state that's floating. Baby, go reclaim your soul. Be awoke so that you don't miss that beat. Get your soul back, so you can create and leave the stamps that God intended for you to leave. You got to know what to ask for, what to pray for, because your flesh will have you asking for these manly things. That soul will start having you calling into God, calling into things, and destroying generational curses, and destroying liars and deceiters, and destroying the devils, and start having you to start praying for healing in your body, healing in your mind, healing in your family, healing in your friendships. God, send me the person that you want me to be with. Send me your divine counterpart. Make me the person that I need to be to even receive the gifts and the blessings that you given, so that I know what to do with them. God will just start using you and moving you differently. And a lot of people think that it take all this time for you to get aligned with God. It take all of these recipes. It take all of these prayers. It take all of this, delivering my sins. God said it's at the drop of the knee. It's at the tip of a tongue. You speak it and you deliver it. You see it and you understand it and you get it. You mention my name and I'm in the room. If all you have have to do is have a little bit of faith, a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of boldness, a little bit of agility and ability, a little bit of move when I tell you to move. Move when you might not feel like it. Move when they telling you no. Move when you seem crazy. Move when you feel out of place. Move when you feel like you don't fit in. Move when you feel like you stagnant. Move when you feel like things is good. Move when you getting everything that you want. Move in my direction. Let me guide you. And you will never be moved by anything this world can do. We talking about tsunamis and you survive. We talking about apocalypse and you survive. We talking about deadly destruction and demons and you survive. We talking about black magic and you survive. We talking about families that betray you and you survive. We talking about heartbreak and devastation and losing children and losing parents and burying your loved one day in and day out. Losing jobs day in and day out. Losing homes month in and month out. Losing friends and stability every other year, every other week. We talking about and you survived. If you don't think God looking at you like, yeah, that's mine right there, I don't know what you think is claiming you. It definitely ain't spirit. Spirit couldn't even tame the motherfucking destruction if we keep it 100. We still respect them, but they understand the flesh. That's why spirit don't mind battling. That's why spirit don't mind creating that war to get you up out of some mess. That's why spirit don't mind doing the dirt that you don't have to do. That's why you got to know how to pray. That's how you got to know how to move. That's how you got to know to walk through the black magic. That's how you got to know to walk through the dark valley. Walk in that dark room and understand that, baby, this light is not on me, it's in me. You can shed me of everything, but I'm still going to glow. My eyes still going to lead the way. You can blind me every day, but I'm still going to get there. You can take everything, strip it all, baby. I will walk naked in front of the room. It don't matter to me, because as long as I get to where God's telling me that I need to go, it's easy for you to repent. I guess they think you one of the Lannisters. They think you the Lannister mother. Too much pride. See, when she repented to God, it wasn't about them breaking her. God was breaking her. And when God broke her, she could walk through that shame. Because either way, she still had to break down. See, she could have really said from the moment in time, God, it is what it is. This how we moving. This what we doing. This what I need to do. Because a lot of people will tell you, just do what you need to do. But God will tell you, no, stand bold in the room. They're going to have to break you in order for me to make you. In order for me to recreate you. I'm going to have to let you be broken in every dimension. That's why I had to rip your soul, because that body ain't nothing to me. As long as they can't tamper with that soul and I can place it back into that body, we can recreate and restore that body. I can't get the soul back once it's gone, once that shit has been stolen. And if you think that God don't talk like that, you ain't been here long enough. Because just like them old folks, they don't spare their tongue. God, he done been here way longer than any of us. He ain't sparing words for y'all. Y'all keep listening to the words of what I'm saying, but are you getting and receiving the message? Obviously, because you're here and you keep watching consistently. Forgive, love thy neighbor as though I love you. That is the message. So the indigo and the starseed beefing, that's imaginary beef to God. That's for that's spirit versus, look, you got people that's fighting karma in battles, because that's what starseeds do. That's what it said. You get what I'm saying? The starseeds, they can see the past life. They can tap into the secret dimension. Okay, cool. But the indigo, they got telepathy, clairvoyance, psychic ability, intuition, wisdom and knowledge, all the same stuff. But man, it's a whole lot different how we channel in ours, how we move in ours, how we're doing in ours. You don't have to speak about who you are to make people understand, because when you walk in the room, it speaks for itself. And that's why a lot of people so upset, because they got to tell people They gotta show people. They gotta make room. They gotta feel. They gotta make themselves fit in. When meanwhile you blend in, plain old Joe, and I'm still getting chosen. I'm still doing the breadwinner run. So at the end of the day, the cycle is over, but a new cycle begins. So it's up to you to either jump on the wheel or stay on the wagon. Because if I didn't been on the wheel before, let me tell you, now that I know how to really do what it do, look, I won't be on here getting dizzy again. You got to experience it in order for you to grow from it. You got to learn about it in order for you to seek more knowledge. You got to even learn about it before you even speak about it. A lot of these people false speaking, ain't did no research, ain't been around no church. You got people around here that's trying to compete with things that you naturally love doing, whether it be puzzles, reading books, riding bikes, channeling energy, reading the Bible, listen to old school music, things that people that nobody had to make you want to do these things. You didn't get inspired by somebody else, man. You been so you've been an OG, a part of this game. You've been knowing what's necessary. You've been had your stripes, and you still out standing as a warrior with no recognition. So at the end of the day here, you got people that's out here trying to let me read books so I can do it better than them. Well, congratulations, you starting today. I'm glad I'm motivating you to do better with yourself. Don't mean that you're going to catch up. Don't mean that you can beat me. Because everybody know, baby, an old veteran or not still got skills in you, not on you. So a lot of you guys, all you doing is praying for healing, mercy, and grace and forgiveness. And you giving that, you're receiving that. And I'm telling you, it's not about your faith being restored. God about to restore theirs. God about to have them in all. God about to show them. He gonna show them his work through you. People telling you that you know, prodigy of Jesus. No, you a prodigy of God. You his work. You his creation. So I love you guys. That is the message that I have for you. I know it's not for everybody. Before I go, it's crazy. This is the card that came out. No pun intended. I did not do that on purpose. Y'all seen how the flow was going. I'm going to read it. It said, life would be a lot more fun if everyone's middle name was motherfucking. Okay, thank you. Confirmation, Lord. Big God, not the little one. Yes, big bird, not the little one. Big rod, not the little one. Yeah, big elite, not the little ones. We don't talk to the general over here. We talk to the elite collective. But before I let you go, I'm going to read the back of this card. It says, make today fun by silently inserting motherfucking into the name of everyone you come in contact with. Ben motherfucking Franklin, Grandpa motherfucking Bob. That lady from accounting, she's now Carol motherfucking Cooper from accounting. Okay? Yeah. Somehow this make those financial spreadsheets more bearable, right? It's going to be a great motherfucking day. And that's what you need to know. It ain't over. It just begun. God said, may the fat lady sing. Okay? And let's see what pigs be brought to the table this time, Virgo. Don't forget you're a goat, not a pig. You don't have no gluttony in you, okay? But there is so many other gloats. You're not a one-time thing, but you might just be the handpicked. You might be the favorite of the handler. And when I say handler, I'm not talking about in no demonic way. I'm talking about as the shepherd, okay? That goat ain't for sale. Sorry. Love you guys. I will see you next time. Do not forget to hit the like, spread the video, spread the love. Beautiful blessings. Good night.